Hey, if you're wondering what's going on in the Hamilton housing market, you've come to the right place. My name is Mike McCarthy with Remax, Escarpment Realty, and this is the Hamilton Monthly Market Minute. All right, let's get started here. We are on the median sale price. We ended August at 710,000, which is actually down from last August, 730,000. So that wild ride that we've seen over the past year, we're all the way up and all the way down. Is it time to get off the roller coaster, or are you staying on for another trip? We'll see. Um, this was the sixth consecutive month of the median price going down. And the last time we hadn't seen that before, certainly not in the last 10 years. We had previously seen a couple of streaks of three consecutive months going down, one in 2016, one in 2017. So this unprecedented 6 months in a row. But what's interesting is we're only down 2.7%, which is the lowest decrease that we've seen since prices started to drop from February to March. So that's interesting. And let's just take a look at this chart over the last kind of nine and a half years. We can go back to January of 2013. This trend line, it indicates that we're right here, and it's almost as if we're supposed to be. It's seemingly just by looking at the chart, other than this craziness, the COVID craziness, and then our little blip in 2017. So what's interesting is from January 2013 to January 2020, over that 7-year period, the Hamilton market had an annualized compound return of 11%. Now, if you take time period from January 2013 to August 2022, that number is 11.1%. So we are about where we would have expected to be at 2020 if it doesn't always work this way, but continuing to grow at 11% annual pace. We're right around where we would have expected to be, and all that craziness from the COVID the COVID economy, let's call it, that was just wildness. Call it an outlier, as we like to say. So very interesting there. Let's get on to days on market. We're up to 21 days, but it's actually, we're so used to quick sales, but 21 days is very normal for the month of August. As you can see here, kind of, and just in general, like I said, we were so used to this 5, 6, 7 days of houses being on the market, but it's pretty typical over the last 10-year period of time to sell. I think the actual median is around 18 or 19 days, so 21, certainly not off where we would normally expect to be. The months of inventory after topping out at 3.2, which was the highest in the last 10 years, we've seen it come down to 2.7 months of inventory at the end of August. The number of sales, though, over the summer was incredibly slow. By far, the slowest summer we've seen in the last 10 years. The slowest August as well. It's the slowest August by 15%, and the slowest summer, calling summer July and August, by 22%. And both of those previous lows occurred in 2017. So definitely a slow summer. New listings, although down, that's pretty typical. And this pattern that we've seen of new listings through the spring and summer is pretty standard. So again, kind of all these numbers are looking, quote unquote, normal. So we're not used to being in a normal housing economy, but all of these underlying statistics, they're starting to look normal. So we'll see what that means. And what's interesting, the sales to new listing ratio actually went back up above 50%. It ended at 54% at the end of August, after 3 consecutive months being below 50%, which we hadn't seen for a very long time. So overall, just the total number of inventory. Again, we were so used to not having much inventory because we did have record low numbers, that now with the amount of inventory that we've seen over the last few months, we're kind of feeling like, there's so much inventory, the market's full of listings, but it's actually, again, pretty close to normal, pretty close to where we would expect to be at this time of the year over what we've seen over the last 10 years. In fact, we ended with 1,392 units on the market at the end of August, and that's below normal. Normal is around 1,600 for August. So again, not necessarily right at normal, but pretty close, which is what kind of the theme is here. So, what do we have to look at going forward? Well, we've got a rate hike expected next week, September 7th, when Bank of Canada meets. It's expected to be about 75 basis points. Um, what will be interesting to see, and people have been talking about the rate hikes and this one coming up, and what will be interesting to see is it already priced in? When this goes up 75 basis points, will we see a change in demand, or is it already kind of priced in? And what if it's higher than 75 or lower than 75? What kind of impact is that going to have on the market? Um, and what's interesting, CIBC predicts that this will be the last interest rate hike, not only through the end of 22, but through the end of 2023. So that will be interesting if that is going to be true. And then that's kind of our new normal for where the overnight rate sits for the next year and a half. In addition to that, TD, Desjardins, Oxford Economics, they're predicting that the what they call peak to trough, so where we peaked in Hamilton in February, and to trough, where it's going to bottom out will be about 20 to 25%. BMO and RBC are a little more optimistic than that. But what's interesting is that right now we are at, in Hamilton, 25%, even just a little over that, where we have gone from peak to trough of a little over 25%. So um, is it the trough? I don't know. If I had to predict, I would say, yeah, we're right around where we are supposed to be before the market stabilizes. So we could still see prices go up and down from month to month, but not the wild swings that we've seen over the last 12 months. So my prediction is, yeah, we are right on the cusp of getting back to a more normal, stable market where we see just very, very mild, moderate, typical fluctuations from month to month. But that's a prediction. I don't know what the future. Only the future will tell us. And well, we'll see. We'll see what it tells us over September when we do this again next month. Till then, have a great September. Thanks a lot for listening and watching. If you see it, give it a thumbs up on social media. Hopefully, this was worth your time. And if you have any comments, feel free to shoot me a message. I'll be happy to chat with you about anything. And enjoy the remaining few weeks and days of your summer. All right, take care, and look forward to seeing you soon.